All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live from the Kellyville Event Center, home of the Kellyville Ponies. Tonight, the Ponies taking on the Morris Eagles. Last home game of the season here for the Ponies. Cameron Harwood making an appearance tonight in the game. Senior night. Didn't get to bring that to you live. Apologize about that. Work priorities didn't allow us to do that as Cameron Harwood comes out of the game for the Lady Ponies. Now Cargill over to Farrison. Farrison, I don't have a roster for Morris. I apologize. Farrison, ball gets tipped away, goes off the top of her head. She retains possession of it. Or sorry, Morris takes possession of it. Now number 4 for Morris. Pass inside to number 13 as she gets the go ahead. Morris playing hard press on the Lady Ponies. McGuire finding her way up the court, passes it inside to Dye. Dye goes up with it. Her shot's blocked. Now number 4 over to 13. 13 guarded by McGuire and Farrison. Now 4 again. She's guarded by Cargill. Pass over to 23 as Cargill moves over inside to number 10 to number 12 to number 23 on the outside. Her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Byram. Now Byram taking it down the floor for the Lady Ponies. She goes inside, takes a little stutter step. Her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by number 13. 13 now brings it down the floor for Morris as she passes it to 12. 12, three-pointer, and it's good. Number 12 for the Eagles, three-pointer. McGuire looking for somewhere to go, gets to Byram. Now Byram double team, gets through the double team. She's dribbling down the floor, gets past half court. Pass inside, that's taken away by number 10. Passes it along for number 4 to go coast to coast. Her shot just goes off the side of the rim with the lay-in attempt there. Now Cargill with the rebound, passes it to Byram. Now Byram looking for somewhere to go. She's triple teamed, gets it to McGuire. McGuire over to Farrison, that ball's tipped by number 10. Number 10 with a takeaway, and she goes in with the lay-in. Her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Byram. Now Byram looking for somewhere to go. It's kind of slowing down the pace here. Slowing down the pace here. Pass to Cargill. Now Cargill, she passes to Farrison. Farrison now to Byram. Byram on the wing. Three-pointer. Shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by number 13 for Morris. As she dribbles down the floor, only Farrison to beat. Passes it to number 23. And her lay-in's just off the mark, rebounded by 13. She goes back up with it. Her shot's just off the mark, and that's rebounded by Dye. Now Dye throws it to McGuire. Now McGuire bringing it down the floor, only guarded by 12. Her lay-in's just off the mark. That's rebounded by 4. Now 4 is going to pass to 23. Her lay-in attempt is good. Coming back from the timeout here, taken by the Lady Ponies. McGuire going to pass it in for the Lady Ponies. She gets it to Byram. Now Byram back to McGuire. Pass back over to Byram. She's double teamed across half court now. Gets it to McGuire. McGuire, three-pointer. Bang! Tony McGuire, three-pointer good. From deep three-point range, now 13 for Morris, over to 3. Now 3 to 12, guarded by Farrison. Gets it back to 3 near the top of the key, now to 40. 40 over to 41. Ball's gonna stay Morris ball. Now number 3. That shot was deflected, rebounded by Farrison. She gets it to Byram. Now Byram driving down, loses handle of it, and it's going to be Morris ball. As Byram goes down to the floor, goes off the top of her head, goes out of bounds. Now number 3 for Morris, bringing it down. Now Byram with the takeaway there. She gets past 3. She goes up with it, and the lay-in's good. Jocelyn Byram taking it down the floor. That foul's on McGuire. Gonna be a blocking foul on the floor, saying she wasn't shooting. So they're just gonna pass it in. Number 40 gonna pass it in for the Eagles. And that lay-in attempt's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Cargill. She's taking it all the way down the floor. She's only got 13 to beat, and 13 blocks her. Stays Lady Pony ball. We'll see. Now 13 over to 12. 12, three-pointer, just off the mark. That's rebounded by Byram. Now Byram going to take it all the way down the floor. Passes it to McGuire. Now McGuire looking to Cargill. Now Byram. Byram looking for somewhere to go. Gets Cargill. Now Cargill over to Farrison. Farrison guarded close. Pass from behind her back to McGuire. What a pass there to Cargill. Cargill with the mid-range jumper. We have a tie ball game. Excuse me. No, we don't. I'm wrong. Now that ball saved going out of bounds. Cargill guarding number 3 heavily. I've got a roster on the way. That was intercepted by Dye, and she's going to take it. Now Cargill has it. She's going to drive down, look for somewhere to go, gets it to McGuire. McGuire for 3, and it's good! All right, I got pulled into a legal obligation, so we're going to keep going with the game here, trying my best, trying to write my name on some tickets here. And the pin doesn't work. There we go. Now 12, looking for somewhere to go with it. She gets it to 4. 4 shot just off the mark. That pass into Cargill. She's looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Byram across half court now. And Byram, her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by number 4. And Byram now on the floor. Good hustle there by Jocelyn Byram. Now 4, a three-pointer is good. Now McGuire pass to Dye. Now Dye over to Byram. Byram for 3. Shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by number 12. That pass inside. Good pass there to 23. Tie ball game. 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. McGuire now to Byram. Byram double teamed on the other side of half court. Now to Cargill. Cargill looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it, pass long. Multiple on the floor here. Farrison gets a hold of it, almost going out of bounds. Morris ball. Inside to number 13, her shot's good. And we do have a roster now, so we're not just going off numbers anymore, as Morris takes the lead 14-12. All right, we are back. Second quarter of basketball here in the Event Center. Looks like Byram, Cargill, Dye, Goins, and McGuire on the floor for the Lady Ponies. Collision there with Goins and Phillips. Ball almost goes out of bounds. Inside fadeaway jumper by Moore. Her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by McGuire. She gets it to Cargill. As Cargill tries to get out of the double team there. Can't get out of it. Throws the ball. Just goes out of bounds ever so slightly out of the hands of Tony McGuire. Now Wilson. And Barnett with the lay-in. Now Byram bringing it down the floor. She's double teamed, looking for somewhere to go. And she falls to the floor as Moore takes it down the other way for the lay-in. And that takeaway gets to Phillips. Shot goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Ponies. Now Byram to Farrison. Farrison pass to Goins. Goins power dribble. Layups just off the mark. Rebounded by Phillips. And Wilson down at the other end. Now Byram to McGuire. McGuire over to Farrison. Farrison for three. Shots just off the mark. Rebounded by McGuire. She gets it back to Byram. Byram kind of just killing time. Over to McGuire. Back to Byram. Byram, mid-range jumper. Shots off the mark. All right, and Barnett passes into Phillips. Now Yerger. And Duclos for the three. Now Byram, double teamed across half court. Gets the ball taken away from her. No foul call there. What in the world? As that lay-in's just off the mark, it's rebounded by McGuire. Now Byram looking for somewhere to go, guarded by Phillips. She passes it to Goins as she falls to the floor. Pass to Cargill. Pass from Cargill to headed toward McGuire was tipped. Luckily it was retained by Farrison. Now Cargill looking for somewhere to go. Passes it to Byram. Byram for three. Shots just off the mark. That's rebounded by Bowling. She's looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Phillips. Phillips guarded by Farrison, now Goins. Throws a shot up. And now Yerger with the shot attempt, and it's good. Yerger tipped the ball out of bounds. Now Cargill, pass intended for Butler. Can't see a number, that's Ray at the line. Her first shot's just off the mark. Second shot's good from Ray there as that pass goes in from Butler intended for Cargill, but McGuire gets it instead, and she's blocked twice. Finally a foul call. I can't see the foul count. As McGuire sinks her first one. And second one falls as well. So McGuire 2 for 2 from the line. As Duclos has it, bringing it down the floor. Pass to Yerger. Now Bowling, three-pointer, and it's good. McGuire pass to Cargill. Cargill to Farrison. Farrison for three, just off the mark. That's rebounded by Butler. And now Byram for three. Her shot's just off the mark. Now Bowling has it. Or sorry, Ray has it. Now Bowling, three-pointer. Almost gets the bank shot in. Butler, jump ball, goes to Kellyville. McGuire pass intended for Horacek. Gets tipped as Cargill takes the mid-range jumper. Her shot's just off the mark as it's tipped out of bounds by Horacek. McGuire taking it down the floor, gets to Cargill. Cargill pass inside to Horacek as the ball is tipped everywhere, every which way. McGuire ends up on the floor. Good hustle there by her. McGuire pass to Byram, gets it back to McGuire. Now Byram double team. They close the gap on the double team. And the ball, I have no words. I don't even know where to begin. Ducos now. Foul on Horacek. Finally, we have a foul count on the board. We go out on a limb, say it was Coach Upshaw. So thank you, Coach Upshaw, for letting us be able to see the foul count in all of its glory. 5-1 foul count here. Farrison pass intercepted by Duclos. Shots just off the mark. Rebounded by McGuire. Now McGuire over to Cargill. Cargill looking for somewhere to go. Passes inside to Horacek. Horacek's layup just off the mark. That's rebounded by 33 Shell. That shot from Duclos just off the mark. That's rebounded by McGuire. Now McGuire's only got Duclos to beat. She goes in with the layup, and it's good. Tony McGuire. Inside Phillips goes up with it. Phillips at the line. Shot is good. Second one falls as well. Now Byram. Her lay-in's good. As Bowling and McGuire over to Byram. Byram double teamed again, gets it back to McGuire. Now McGuire driving down the floor, gets to Cargill. Cargill, her layup's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Yerger. And we're going to the line on the other side for 1-and-1. That free throw rebounded by Byram, gets it to McGuire, now back to Byram. Byram over to Farrison. Farrison now to Butler. Butler driving through the lane. She goes up with it. Her shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Bowling. Now Bowling taking it down the floor for the Eagles. She's guarded by Butler. And Phillips, long range three, right on the money. Nothing but the net. Byram double teamed, got to get somewhere, goes to McGuire. Now McGuire over to Farrison. Farrison for three, just off the mark, in and out. Rebounded by Horchak. Horchak goes back up with it, now gets it back out to Farrison. Farrison, mid-range jumper, just off the mark. That's rebounded by Bowling now. She gets it over to Barnett, now to Phillips. Phillips, mid-range, wow. Floater from Phillips there. And we're going to go into halftime, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back here in about 10 minutes. All right, and we're back. We are here for the second half of basketball here in the Event Center. Lady Ponies have possession of the ball. McGuire bringing it down the floor. Byram now to Farrison. And that ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wilson. Bit of short, or I say short, a longer halftime break. Because my dad's not here and I can't go down and talk to him at the scorer's table. So, Dad, I know you're watching. I've been bored this entire 10 minutes. But I'm glad we're back underway here. Byram in the corner. And that ball intended for McGuire was tipped. Now Yerger. Over to Duclos. Back to Duclos. Mid-range jumper. Shots off the mark. That's. Says she's going out of bounds. Lady Pony ball. Kind of a late whistle there. Just a little bit. Ball got inbounds and was retained by a player before the whistle was blown. Anyway, McGuire now passed to Cargill. And she passes to Farrison. Goes a little long to the left. And that ball is intercepted. Now Yerger. Three-pointers good. McGuire pass to Cargill. Cargill to Byram. Byram to Farrison. Now McGuire for three. Shot's good. Tony McGuire, three-pointer. Pass inside. Bank off the glass, no good by Moore. As now Byram bringing down the floor, pass to Farrison. Farrison over to Cargill. Now Cargill back to Farrison, over to Byram. Byram to McGuire, inside to Farrison. Farrison's three-pointer blocked. She gets it back, goes up with it, and it's good. Lily Farrison, mid-range jumper from the corner. As Dye gets that rebound there. Gets it down the floor, pass to Cargill. Cargill's floater / mid-range jumper is good. Lady Ponies come out on a scoring streak. Ball goes out of bounds. Lady Pony ball. Farrison over to Byram. Byram Farrison, three-pointers good. Lady Ponies out on a scoring streak here, knock on wood. As that shot from Duclos is off the mark, that's rebounded by McGuire. She gets it down to Cargill. Now Cargill going up with it. That shot's off the mark, rebounded by McGuire. We're gonna have a foul call. All right. We have a foul call here and a timeout. Looks like we're going to have a full timeout. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. All right, and we're back to the action here after the timeout. As McGuire is at the free throw line. I believe she's going to shoot 2. First one off the mark. Second one's on the money for McGuire. As Phillips can bring the ball down for the Eagles. Now Ray. Back to Phillips, back to Ray. Now over the quarter to Duclos. Inside to Phillips. Duclos again to Bowling. Now Phillips. Now Duclos. Inside to Barnett. Shots off the mark. Gets her own rebound, goes back up with it. That shot's off the mark too. Offensive rebound. Tipped by Byram there. Now Bowling for 3. Shots off the mark. That's rebounded by Farrison. Farrison gets it to Dye. Now over to McGuire. Now Byram. Byram to McGuire. McGuire pass intended for Dye. Goes a little bit too wide. Can't get it. That pass is tipped by McGuire, but ends up getting tipped by Bowling as well. So going to go out on the Lady Eagles. Now McGuire pass to Cargill. Cargill pass inside to Dye. Now McGuire. Now Byram. Byram mid-range jumper just off the mark. That's rebounded by Dye. Dye goes up with it, and it's good. Haley Dye. Now Byram, ball's tipped away, goes out of bounds, stays Lady Pony ball. Byram going to pass it in for the Lady Ponies, gets to Farrison. Standing all alone, now to Byram. Pass goes long, thought she was going to save it. It's close to saving it from going out of bounds. Good hustle there by Byram. Now Phillips. Over to Ray. Now Barnett for 3. Her shot's off the mark, rebounded by Duclos. Duclos inside pass to Barnett as her shot's good. Now McGuire. McGuire over to Cargill. Cargill looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it back to Byram. Then Cargill gets it back. Now Farrison for 3, just off the mark. That's rebounded, goes out of bounds, stays Lady Pony ball. Last touch by Moore. Now Cargill looking for somewhere to go with it. Pass deflected. Goes out of bounds off of Duclos. Stays Lady Pony ball. Cargill over to Byram. Byram gets that lay-in to go. As it is now down to an 11-point ball game. Shot almost goes in. Rebounded by Haley Dye. Gets it to Cargill. And Moore takes that all the way down. Now Cargill looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Farrison. Farrison over to McGuire. McGuire now to Byram. Fouls on the floor. Now Dye passing it in. Intended for McGuire. She ends up getting the ball. She's guarded by Moore. Stuck in the corner, nowhere to go. Tries to get it off her leg. Can't do so as that ball goes out of bounds. Now Byron passing it in for the Lady Ponies. Over to Cargill. Cargill intercepted by Barnett. Gets it to Phillips. Now Phillips over to Duclos. Duclos now to Yerger. Her shot just off the mark. Rebounded not cleanly. Farrison goes to the floor. Ball goes off her hands. Morris going to retain possession of the ball. And Phillips' shot is good from close range. Byram over to McGuire now. McGuire looking for somewhere to go, guarded by Phillips. She goes inside to Dye. Dye mid-range jumper just off the mark. That's rebounded by Moore. She gets it over to Yerger. Now inside to Duclos. Her shot's off the mark. That's rebounded by Byram. She gets to McGuire. Now McGuire over to Farrison. Farrison for three. Just off the mark. Almost gets her own rebound. Rebounded by Barnett. Barnett goes up with it. Her lay-in's good. Butler for three. Just off the mark. 50-33. We'll be right back in just a moment. All right, back underway as Bowling passes in into Phillips. And back to Bowling inside as her lay-in attempt just off the mark. That's rebounded by Farrison. Now McGuire has it. Gets it over to Butler. Butler to Cargill. Cargill for three. Shots just off the mark. That's rebounded by Shell. And fouled as the shot falls. Moore going to the line to shoot one. As that one goes. Butler now gets to Cargill, safe from going, no, not safe from going out of bounds. Goes off Cargill. And now Bowling for two. Butler to Byram. Byram over to McGuire. Now Moore gets to Phillips. Phillips to Bowling. Inside to Shell. Now Moore again. Going the other way now. Lady Pony ball. McGuire to Byram, back to McGuire, over to Farrison. McGuire falls on the floor, ball intended for her. She keeps a hold of it, gets it to Byram. Now Byram, three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Shell. And that shot from Phillips is good. Looks like we got a foul on Barnett. Byram now to Goins. Goins to McGuire. McGuire looking for somewhere to go. Passes it to Cargill. Now Cargill back to McGuire, over to Goins. Ball's taken away by Bowling. And Bowling's going to take a three-pointer, and it's good. Byram to McGuire. That ball's taken away. As McGuire's slow to get up. She's going to go off the floor for the Lady Ponies. And Barnett at the line. First one falls. Second one falls as well. Byram pass into Cargill. Byram looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Goins. Now Goins is quad teamed. Looks like we got a foul on Goins. Goins gets it to Dye. Now Dye back to Goins. Ball's deflected by Bowling. As Byram and Cargill are gonna come in, sub out. I apologize, I've been calling Atea Lewis Butler all night. I apologize about that. I wasn't thinking and I wasn't looking at the roster and I got mixed up with numbers. So, Atea, I'm sorry about that. Lewis over to Butler. Butler back to Lewis. Over to Goins. And they're going to call Goins for a walk. As Warnock is going to come in for Dye. Now Warnock with a takeaway. And Lewis going to pass it into Butler. Now Goins over to Horacek. Horacek's shot just off the mark. That's rebounded by Goins. She gets it back to Horacek. As Lewis, ball tipped away. Stays Lady Pony ball. Butler looking to pass it in. Ball's tipped out of bounds. Stays Lady Pony ball. Still looking to pass it in. Tipped out of bounds, goes out of bounds. Stay Lady Pony's ball. Now Butler has the ball tipped away from her. And that pass is intercepted by Goins. Ball goes out of bounds. Lady Pony ball. Blaze over to Warnock. Now back to Blaze. Over to Goins. Ball's on the floor. Taken away, not yet. Retained by Morris. Blocked by Blaze. As 4 new come in for the Lady Ponies. Leaving only Blaze on the floor. Well, Blaze being the only one that was in the game 2 minutes ago. Now Edwards with a takeaway. This ball goes out of bounds. Goes off Morris. Lady Ponies retain the ball. She gets it into Powers. Powers shot just off the mark. That's rebounded by Edwards. Jump ball. Stays Lady Pony ball. Edwards passing it into Blaze. Blaze shot just off the mark. And that's rebounded by Smith. And they're saying she stepped on the line. Ball going to Morris. Blaze on the floor, losing track. Now Edwards in to help. And Giddens there went down hard on her elbow. I cannot imagine that felt good at all. And then the lay-in just off the mark. That's rebounded by Edwards. Lose track on the ball. And we got a foul on Sutton Giddens. And goes off the top of the backboard. Didn't get to see who shot that. That shot just off the mark. And Edwards with the takeaway as the ball goes up in the air. And not going to be good as Morris comes away with this one, 66-33. We are going to have Teacher Appreciation Night. So I'm going to take a vocal break. We're going to leave the mic on for the announcing. And then once Teacher Appreciation Night is over, we will go to a commercial break, and we will be back on air for the boys' game. So once again, going to take a vocal break here in between games. Leave the microphone on for the announcing of Teacher Appreciation Night, hoping you can hear it. And then we will go to a commercial break until the boys' game starts. We'll see you here in just a little bit. right, we are back for the second game here at the Event Center. Starting lineups on the floor are the seniors for the Ponies. And those seniors include Caden Ayers, Owen Bellish, Justin Miles, Landon Powers, and Jackson Wallace. So a perfect starting five, perfect senior starting five here for the Ponies. Morris gets the jump ball. Pass for number 13, deflected, taken away by Wallace. Now Bellis bringing it down the floor, gets it to Powers. Powers for three, just off the mark, rebounded by Miles. Now Miles, his shot's off the mark, that's rebounded by number 2 for Morris. Zachary. Sorry, not 2, 21. Smith. So now Smith with the ball, guarded by Miles. And that shot off the mark, rebounded by Wallace. Now down to Miles from Bellis. And they're going to call him for a walk. That pass deflected by Wallace. Taken away officially by Powers. Now to Bellis, now to Ayers. Ayers, pass inside to Wallace. Wallace goes back up with it. His shot's blocked. Now Casey has it. Now Benavidez. Back to Casey. Over to Raines. Shot off the mark, rebounded by Wallace. Ooh, long pass intended for Miles, just a little bit too long there. Out to Raines now. Kelsey. Shots off the mark. Bellis with the rebound. Pass to Miles. Just a little bit too wide there. As Ayers, Wallace, and Powers going to sub out. Nance, Lawrence, and Chronister going to come in. Lawrence to Chronister. Chronister mid-range jumper, and it's on the money. Landry Chronister, first points of the game for their team. Nance now bringing it down the floor, goes up with it, shot just off the mark. That's rebounded by Benavidez. Ball goes short. Nance tried to save it, just goes off his foot. Now Kelsey going to pass it in for the Eagles. As Lawson is down at the other basket. Mid-range jumper from Smith falls. Now Bellis driving in. Jump ball call, stays Pony ball. Now Bellis. Shot off the mark. Rebounded by Smith. Sorry, Kelsey. Now to Casey. Over to Rains. Three-pointer off the mark. Inside. To Kelsey, he's fouled by Lawrence. First one falls at the line. Second one off the mark. Goes out of bounds off of Stone. Nance now, mid-range jumper, and it's on the money. Easton Nance. Now Smith bringing it down the floor. Gets it to Rains. His lay-in's off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Now Bellis bringing it down the floor. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Nance. Nance, reverse layup! Wow, what a move inside by Easton Nance there. Now Smith. That ball's taken away by Nance. Now to Chronister. Chronister loses a hold on it, gets it to Stone. That ball's deflected. Now Bellis has it. Bellis back to Chronister. Chronister for three. Tipped. Ball's going the other way. Foul on Chronister. Miles with the rebound. Now Nance. His lay-in is good as Kelsey was up in the air, hands all over the ball, and Nance still finds a way to put it in the basket there. That shot from Smith off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Now over to Nance. Now Nance, mid-range jumper, and it's good. Easton Nance is putting on a show tonight. Ball goes out of bounds, kick ball. Now Smith bringing it down the floor for the Eagles. Has nowhere to go, picked up his dribble. Now gets it back to Smith, now to Rains. Almost taken away by Ayers there, back to Smith. Now Rains again. Shots off the mark, that's rebounded by Kelsey. His shot's off the mark, that's rebounded by Bellis. Now Bellis gets it over to Ayers. Ayers loses a handle on it, probably for the best. Saves it from going out of bounds, now Wallace has it, as Casey was all over Ayers there. Now Nance has it up near half court. Now to Bellis. Bellis over to Miles. Miles back to Bellis with the lay-in, alley-oop, lay-in, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called. Miles threw it up. Bellis was down there. Pick it up, and we got a timeout, Morris. And that shot goes as Ayers dart to Nance. Nance looking for somewhere to go with it. Kelsey on the defense. Now to Miles. Miles up against Kelsey. Inside to Bellis. Bellis! What a move. Inside by Owen Bellis. Draws the foul. Bucket falls. Shots just off the mark. Kelsey looking for somewhere to go with it. He goes over to tries to find Casey. Now Chronister over to Wallace, now Nance. Inside Chronister, over to Ayers, now Nance on the three-point line. Takes it back up to the circle. 10 seconds, 14-7. Now Chronister inside to Nance. Nance loses hand on it, 5.5 seconds remaining. Goes out of bounds, stays Pony ball. So Chronister gonna pass it in for the Ponies. Nance, got to get a shot up. He gets it taken away. (14-7) into the first quarter here at the Event Center. Gonna take a quick break. Be right back. Okay, I want to make sure I have my dates right, but I was told that I could announce this here If you are doing nothing next Friday night, feel free to come watch Kellyville play Sperry on the 17th here at the Event Center. Girls start at 6:30, boys following at 8 o'clock. And February 23rd, 24th, and 25th, 3A regionals. Those games are at 1:30, 3 o'clock, 6:30, and 8 o'clock. 5A area on March 2nd and 3rd, and those games are 6:30 and 8 o'clock each day. So eventful things happening here in the Event Center here in the coming weeks. So if you are out and you are available, feel free to come watch those. And that three-pointer is good. Now Chronister bringing it down the floor. Gets it to Nance. Nance to Bellis. Inside to Lawrence. Lawrence gets the ball taken away. Not taken away for long. Chronister maintains possession of it. Now Bellis. Now Nance. Over to Chronister. Chronister, good screen there by Miles. Gets it to Lawrence. Now Lawrence over to Nance. Nance drives in. His shot's off the mark. Rebounded by Kelsey. That shot's off the mark. Rebounded by Lawrence. Gets it over to Chronister. Now Chronister gets it to Miles. And that bucket falls. Nance now over to Lawrence. Lawrence gets it to Miles. Miles, mid-range jumper, just off the mark. That's rebounded by Harjo as he takes it down the floor, and his lay-in is good. Now Coach Fairchild calls a timeout, full timeout, so we will be right back after a little break. All right, back underway here. Nance scanning the floor, looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Bellis. Bellis is double team, foul call. And that foul is on Kelsey. Nance looking for somewhere to pass it into. Gets it to Ayers. Now to Bellis. Bellis to Nance. Nance over to Ayers. Now to Miles. Miles inside Bellis. Bellis with the takeaway as he drives in mid-range, just off the mark. As Smith gets it, now Nance with the takeaway. Looking for somewhere to go with it, and they're going to call him for a travel. Lawrence tried to get the ball away. Nance, mid-range jumper off the mark. Rebounded by Kelsey. Got it to Burgess. Now Harjo drives in, his shot's good. Nance to Ayers, back to Nance. Back over to Ayers. Now inside to Bellis. Ball's taken away by Smith as he takes mid-range just off the mark. Another one just off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Bellis, hard pass down to Nance, now to Ayers. Ayers for three, just off the mark. Miles calling him out of bounds. So now Stone and Chronister are going to come in for Miles and Lawrence. Now Kelsey bringing it down the floor to Smith. And Burgess now, Kelsey to Harjo. That ball's saved. Nance got hit in the face. And they're calling it Morris ball. Harjo now, guarded by Ayers. Now Kelsey. Foul call, bucket falls. Now Kelsey at the line. Shots off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Bellis kind of slowing down the pace here, guarded by Smith. Now to Nance. Nance, top of the key, guarded by Harjo. Now Bellis. Looking for somewhere to go, he's double teamed. And that ball is taken away, no foul call. As the foul goes to Ayers there. Harjo, guarded by Chronister. Now Kelsey in the corner, his shot's no good, rebounded by Smith. Jump ball call. And jump ball. Stays the call after a little discussion. Bellis to Nance. Nance now to Stone. Back to Nance. Over to Miles. Miles is double teamed. Gets a shot up just off the mark. That's rebounded. Now Kelsey guarded by Chronister. Kelsey shot just off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Now to Chronister, over to Nance. Now Miles inside. Ball's on the floor, stays Kellyville. No, Morris ball. Shot just off the mark from Burgess, rebounded inside, put back up. Now Stone, his shot's off the mark. Now Smith. Kelsey off Nance's knee. Harjo looking for somewhere to go. That foul's on Bellis. Has a meeting with Miles, Kelsey, and the two referees. And we're going to have a discussion with the Ponies. As Miles and Bellis are going to come out for Ayers and Lawrence. As both free throws fall. Now Nance going to bring it down the floor. Chronister to Ayers, over to Stone. Stone now to Nance. Nance for three. Shots off the mark, almost rebounded by Lawrence. Ends up going to Burgess. Now Burgess to Harjo. Harjo's lay-in is good. Chronister. As we're going to go into halftime. Score 27-14. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back here in about 8 or 9 minutes. All right, we are back for the second half of action here in the Event Center. (27-14). As Kelsey's going to pass it in for the Eagles. Gets it to Harjo. Harjo guarded by Bellis. Now Harjo over to Burgess. Now Kelsey, three-pointer just off the mark. That's rebounded by Bellis, who gives it to Nance. Now Nance to Lawrence, over to Bellis. Now over to Miles. Lawrence, pass intended for Lawrence, picked up by Smith. And that three-pointer from Harjo is good. Bellis inside to Lawrence. Lawrence. Nance over to Chronister. To Lawrence. Lawrence. His shot falls. Now Harjo being guarded by Lawrence and Chronister over to Smith. Foul called. Harjo going to the line. That foul's on Chronister. That's his third foul of the game. Both free throws fall for Harjo. Miles, mid-range jumper is good. Smith, pass inside. That floater's good from Kelsey. Stone now to Bellis. Bellis for three! Owen Bellis drains it from deep. Now Harjo, ball taken away by Miles. Now Kelsey bringing it down the floor as Lawrence goes down. And J.R. Lorentz going to go to the line. First one falls. Second one falls as well. Kelsey looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Smith. Now Harjo goes off. Kelsey passing to Smith. Gets it back to Kelsey. Now Harjo for three. His shot falls. Now Ayers coming in for Miles. And Nance. Nice lay in there. That ball to Ayers now. Ayers goes up with it. He's fouled. Ayers, both free throws off the mark, rebounded by Smith. Pass goes right to Wallace, and Lorentz going to give it to Nance. Bellis, shot's good. Smith to Raines. Now back to Smith. His shot's off the mark. Rebounded by Wallace. Over to Bellis. Bellis for three. Shots off the mark. Rebounded by Smith. Now Smith double teamed. Gets it over to Kelsey. Kelsey mid-range jumper falls just off the mark. Rebounded by Bellis. Bellis driving in. I believe that foul's on Kelsey. Miles, his lay-in falls. Now Miles with the takeaway gets it to Nance. Nance drives in, left-handed layup. And Morris will call a timeout. Rally by the Ponies here. Start the third quarter. I say start the third quarter, 7 minutes into the third quarter. $19 points here in this third quarter. Travel there. Nance into Miles. Miles. Couple vacations for the Eagles here. Wallace, good tip on the ball. Out of bounds, goes toward Kellyville. It's 21 points in the third quarter versus Morris's 12. Now Ayers to Nance. Nance to Bellis, over to Miles. Miles, mid-range jumper, and it's good, Jostin Miles. That foul is on Bellis. That'll be his second foul. Now Smith over to Kelsey. Kelsey's shot is good. 10 seconds. Ayers to Nance. Now Bellis drives in. His lay-in's good. Owen Bellis, time expires. What a rally by the Ponies there. 15 points scored for the Eagles and over 20 scored for the Ponies. Great rally there heading into the fourth quarter, I apologize. Definitely a quarter for the books. Now Nance. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it inside to Lawrence. Now Chronister. Chronister for three, and it's good. Landry Chronister. We have a tie ball game. As Casey is called for a travel. Chronister into Miles. Miles, mid-range jumper, just deflected as we have multiple Eagles down. Looks like we have one that was poked in the eye. Casey holding his face there. Obviously that's never good. Harjo gonna come in for Casey. Back underway here, Smith. Deflected by Bellis, taken away. And now Bellis on the floor, gets it to Nance. Nance double teamed. Guarded by Smith. Puts some sauce on him. Now over to Chronister. Over to Miles. Miles for three, his shot just off the mark. That's rebounded by Burgess. Burgess gets it to Smith. And that shot's just off the mark, rebounded by Bellis. Now Bellis taking it down the floor. They're going to call him for a carry. Now Kelsey. Over to Benavidez. Now over to Smith. Guarded by Chronister. Taken away by Bellis. No, taken away back by Smith. Bellis got a hand on it there for a second. Now Smith guarded by Lawrence. Three-pointer, Harjo just off the mark. That's rebounded by Bellis. Bellis going to take it down the floor. Surveying the defense. Gets it over to Miles. Miles guarded by Smith. Now over to Nance, who's guarded from distance by Harjo. Nance goes up to his favorite spot, the circle. Brings it down the floor, gets it to Bellis. Now Bellis inside Miles. That's tipped away, taken away. No, retained by Nance. Nance is going to go up for it, takes a shot with it. Gets bumped out to Chronister. Chronister going to take a shot. His shot's just off the mark. That's rebounded by Burgess. We're going to get a foul call on Lawrence. And that's Benavidez. Now Bellis. Over to Nance. And that shot, or sorry, that pass goes out of bounds. Thrown just a little bit too high. Intended for Miles as Miles comes out of the game. Looks like Bellis, Ayers, Stone, Nance, and Lawrence on the floor for the Ponies. As Harjo takes a three, his shot's off the mark. That's rebounded by Kelsey. We're going to get a jump ball. Stays Morris ball. As Smith going to drive down the lane against Bellis. Inside to Lawrence. Lawrence going to go up with it. We got a foul call on Benavidez. 2 shots for Lawrence. First one falls. Second one falls as well. Smith looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Kelsey. Guarded by Stone. Now over to Burgess, guarded by Ayers. Now Benavidez in the corner. And that foul is on Bellis. That's his third. As Miles is going to come in for Lawrence. Smith goes up for a shot. Just off the mark, gets his own rebound, goes back up for it. We got a foul call. And that foul is on Stone. That's his first. Smith at the line. His first one falls. Second one is no good. Rebounded by Miles. Gets it to Bellis. Now Bellis, mid-range jumper, just off the mark. Rebounded by Burgess. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Ayers playing a tough defense on Burgess there. Now Benavidez. Over to Harjo. Miles picks up the loose ball. Guarded by Harjo. Out to Bellis. Bellis for three. Just off the mark. That's rebounded by Benavidez. And Kelsey, his lay-in is good. Now Nance. Pass to Bellis. Bellis to Ayers. Ayers back to Bellis. Over to Nance. Nance tells Stone to set a screen. Goes up. Now Ayers loses handle on the ball. And Harjo has a hold of it. As Stone and Ayers are going to come out for Lawrence and Chronister. That's Ayers' third foul. As Harjo's shot falls. First shot falls. Second one falls as well. Bellis. Timeout. Charge to Coach Fairchild and the Ponies. Lawrence to Miles. Now Bellis. Bellis inside. Pass intercepted by Harjo. Intended for Lawrence. Harjo's first shot falls. Second one off the mark, rebounded by Miles. Looks like we got blood on the floor. Or we are surveying the floor for blood. So Coach Nance going to come out with the towel. And go right back out the door with the towel. He comes in one door with the towel and walks across the court and then goes right back out the other door with the towel. Oh, now he's coming back with cleaning supplies. Okay. All right, we've got some paper towels and some Windex. Rips the paper towel, goes in. Starts wiping the floor. And the other spot. Well, keeping conversation with the refs. Wiping up the floor. And if you were just joining us, I did a play-by-play of Coach Nance wiping up the floor, wiping up the blood off the floor as the Ponies are now passing in the ball. Nance has a hold of it, 52-46. Morris ahead. Tip, last touch by Casey. Miles inside, Bellis, his shot off the mark, rebounded by Lawrence. He goes back up with it, and it's good. Casey, foul on Miles. That's Miles' second foul of the game. Casey at the line, shot off the mark, rebounded by Chronister. Bellis taking it down the floor now. Chronister. Miles, now Nance, over to Bellis. Inside Chronister. Now to Miles. Miles, mid-range jumper, shots off the mark, he's fouled. And that foul's on Casey. That's Casey's first of the game. Miles at the free throw line. First one falls. Second one falls. Smith looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it into Burgess. Now Smith guarded by Bellis. Now Kelsey. Now Benavidez back to Kelsey. Guarded by Chronister. Kelsey putting the moves on. Burgess. Bellis passing it into Nance. Timeout charge to Coach Fairchild and the Ponies. 47.1 seconds left here in the game, 52-50. Quite a hefty lead that the Eagles had, and the Ponies closed that deficit quite a bit. Once again, 47.1 seconds. Nance gonna pass it in from near half court. Gets it to Lawrence, back to Nance. Nance goes up with it, Easton Nance. Harjo now. We got a timeout charge to the Eagles. Now it's going to be a full timeout, so I'm going to take a vocal break before I start screaming a little bit more, so we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Harjo with the ball. Crowd's getting a little bit more involved now. Smith, guarded by Chronister and Miles. Both from a little bit of distance. 15 seconds. They're going for a last second shot here. Six seconds. Picked up his dribble. We got a timeout. 3 seconds left. 0.8 is what you need to actually get a shot off. 0.3, you have to tap it. So we're at 3 seconds. They have plenty of time to shoot the ball here. Plenty of time. There's no... The best bet for Kellyville is lock every man up. Do not let anybody open off the inbound pass. Try your hardest to get a 5-second call, and if that doesn't work, just do your best to get that 5-second call. Three seconds left. Burgess inbounding the ball for the Eagles. Gets it to Kelsey. Kelsey, no time left. We are going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We have an extra quarter of basketball. .52-52 tie ball game going into overtime here. Seems like the last couple of games that we've had have been into overtime. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't think of anything better on a Friday night than overtime basketball. I mean, I can, but it's basketball season, not football season. Here we go, tip-off, Lawrence and Benavidez. Lawrence gets it as Bellis is going to get it to Nance. And Lawrence, they're going to call him for a travel. Smith driving down the floor. Gets it to Harjo. Harjo, that ball's tipped by Bellis. Now Nance has it. He's guarded by Harjo. Nance puts a little bit of sauce on him. Now he drives in. His shot's off the mark, and we have a full collision. As Benavidez is hobbling a little bit. And Benavidez first shot off the mark, off the back iron. But Morris in double bonus. Second one falls. So now Bellis bringing it down the floor for the Ponies. He gets it to Nance. Nance over to Chronister. Chronister to Lawrence. Now back to Nance. Now Chronister. Inside Bellis, now Lawrence. He drives in, sky hook just off the mark. Out of bounds, saying it's Morris ball. As Casey is going to come in for Benavidez. Smith looking for somewhere to go. Now to Harjo, now Kelsey. Kelsey's three-pointer is good. Now Nance. To Miles, now at Bellis. Bellis, his shot. Loses his footing. No foul call, now Smith. Kelsey, three-pointer's good. Technical foul now. Now we have a double technical. And looks like Coach Thornbrew has been ejected from the game. The boos rain in from the crowd as Kelsey's going to go to the line. First one gets the roll, falls in. Second one falls. Third one falls. Last one gets the roll. And Morris will retain possession of the ball. 11-point ball game. Casey now, guarded by Bellis. Now Harjo, guarded by Nance. Over to Smith. Now Kelsey. That foul's on Chronister. That's his fourth. Kelsey again at the line. Rebound by Miles. Miles drives in. His shot's off the mark. Jump ball. Morris retains possession. Smith looking for somewhere to go. Shots off the mark, rebounded by Chronister. He puts it back up. Now Burgess looking for somewhere to go. And that foul is going to be on Chronister, and that's his fifth. Harjo at the line. First one falls. Second one falls as Nance drives in. His shot's off the mark. That's rebounded by Burgess. Taken away by Nance. Nance goes back up with it, and he's fouled. Nance, first free throw falls. Casey's first one off the mark. Second one off the mark, rebounded by Miles. Now to Bellis. Bellis, three-pointer off the mark, rebounded by Miles. Miles looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Nance. Now Nance back to Miles. Miles guarded by Burgess. Miles for three. His shot's off the mark. That's rebounded by Bellis. Goes back up with it. It's good. Javius Holmes with the interception on that pass. Now Nance has it. Nance for three. His shot's blocked. Saved by Miles and saved by Nance. Casey's going to go to line. 27.1 seconds left in the game. His first one falls. Nance to Miles. Miles for three, just off the mark. Rebounded by Bellis. Bellis puts it back up. It falls. 16.5 seconds left. Coach Fairchild calls a 30-second timeout. Taken away by Nance. Nance going down, floater, and it's good. As time expires, final score 68-62 Eagles. That concludes the final home game of the season. Join us next Friday night here at the Event Center for postseason action. Kellyville Ponies and the Sperry Pirates facing off here in districts. Unfortunately, we are unable to broadcast that game, but feel free to come down here and support the Ponies in their district tournament. Not sure when we will be back on air, but we will see you then.